Nutrition in living organism. Nutrition, the definition is the process of taking in and using food which takes place in living organism is called nutrition. That means when we eat the food, we chew it and the food is get used in our body, in a living organism's body, it is known as nutrition. Now comes the need of nutrition. What is actually the need of nutrition? There are four needs. First one is to supply the energy required for doing work. For a certain work, we need a certain energy, and that energy, that required energy, comes from the nutrition. That is the first point. Now second is growth and development of body. Day by day we are growing, our body is being developed, so for that also the nutrition is required. Now the third point is to replace the damaged cell and repair tissues. So there are some damaged cell in our body, and to repair tissues, there are some damaged cell, damaged tissues, to repair that, nutrition is required. Now to fight diseases, we get some diseases and we get cured easily, so that is being done by nutrition only, that is helping us. So nutrition is important. There are 4 points for by which the nutrition is important. Now we have autotrophic and heterotrophic. I am sure that you have heard this topic before. Now we will clear this topic. First is autotrophic, second is heterotrophic. Auto means self, autotrophic, they can prepare their own food, it is autotrophic. Now we have heterotrophic. Hetero means other, means they are depended, there are depends on other organism. The organism can be plant, can be an animal, but they are dependent on other organism. So autotrophic can prepare their own food, heterotrophic depend on other animals or plants. Now there are two concepts, micro and macro. Micronutrients, macronutrients. First of all, we have learnt about nutrition. What is nutrition? The taking and using the food. Now nutrients are those which are we get in our food, the nutrients. Now micronutrients, it means which are required in a very small quantity. Micronutrients are required in a very small quantity. Micro word itself represent small. Now micronutrients, which mean in a very small quantity. Examples are vitamin and mineral. These two are very perfect example of micronutrients, vitamin and mineral. Okay, then we have macronutrients. Now macro represent large, macronutrients required in a very large quantity. The examples are these: carbohydrate, protein and fat, etc. So these are required in a large quantity. So these are macronutrients. Now the now we will learn autotrophic, about autotrophic plants. So we know that, now we have learned that autotrophic plants have they prepare their own food. By which they prepare their own food, and what is that process called by which they prepare their own food? Let's learn about it. The process is known as photosynthesis. The Now the definition is the process by which They make their own food with the following material, or the process by which autotrophic plants make their own food with the following material. Okay, chlorophyll. So what are those materials which are required to the photosynthesis to be done? First one is chlorophyll, second is carbon dioxide, third is water, fourth is nutrient. So we have learned about nutrients. Okay, we have learned about nutrients as well as we have learned about micronutrients and macronutrients. Water we all know, H2O, obviously we know this. Then carbon dioxide, this one also we know. Now what is chlorophyll? Let me tell you. Chlorophyll is chlorophyll is a pigment which is green in color, and it helps to capture the light energy, the sunlight, and prepare the food for plants. Okay, so remember this, that chlorophyll is a green pigment, and it is the main and very important material for photosynthesis. So four materials are required. Repeat with me. First is chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water, and nutrients. Okay. Now let's learn further. We have chloroplast. This shell that you can see is chloroplast. Inside this we have chlorophyll. We have learned this, that the chlorophyll is very important. Now where the chlorophyll is present? Chlorophyll is present in leaves, and in leaves where it is present? It is present inside the chloroplast. Remember this point, it is very important at the at your exam point. The chloro inside the chloroplast, the chlorophyll is present. Now let's learn more about photosynthesis. So now you can see a flower here. It is having two leaves. These are green, it means they are having the chlorophyll inside the chloroplast. Now it is the sun. The light energy is going onto the leaf. Now the carbon dioxide from the air is going inside with from the point of stomata. Stomata is the opening from where the sunlight and carbon dioxide can enter. So stomata, from through the stomata the carbon dioxide is going inside. Now the water from the soil, this is our soil, from the soil the water is going upside like this in the leaf. Now inside this the chlorophyll is present. The sun, this sun, ये क्या कर रहा है? सन जो है वो लाइट को अपने अंदर कैप्चर कर रहा है. ओके, सो क्लोरोफिल इज कैप्चरिंग द सनलाइट. नाउ दिस लीफ is the inside this leaf, the the process of photosynthesis is being done. Now oxygen is being released and the carbohydrate or glucose. You need to memorize the glucose because in the textbook glucose is being mentioned. So memorize this, that glucose is being produced. Now what is the chemical formula? Let's learn it. Photosynthesis, carbon dioxide plus water equals to food which is glucose. So memorize that. In your textbook the glucose is given, so memorize it as glucose, and plus oxygen. You have to memorize this. 6CO2 plus 6H2O equals to C6H12O6 plus 6O2. Okay, let's repeat once. Carbon dioxide plus water equals to food plus oxygen. You have to write this. Okay, if you will not read it, it's okay, but you have to write this in your exam. 6CO2 plus 6H2O equals to C6H12O6 plus 6O2. Okay, let's go further. Memorize it. Take a screenshot of this. Then there is transport system. In our body, in the human body, we have a system which is known as circulatory system, which transport the blood throughout our body to each part of our body. Just like this, in the plants there is a system which is known as transport system. Okay, where we have xylem and phloem. We have xylem and phloem. Let's learn about it. Xylem, it transports water and mineral from roots to all parts. Let me read it again so that you will have a clearer explanation. It transports water and mineral from roots to all parts. Okay, इट मीन्स ये जो होता है ये किसको ट्रांसपोर्ट करता है, वाटर और मिनरल को रूट से. वी नो दैट द सॉइल, द रूट इज हैविंग वाटर एंड मिनरल. रूट्स पे पानी एंड मिनरल होता है. सो इट ट्रांसपोर्ट दैट and it is unidirectional. It means it can go only upside, it cannot downside, it cannot go downside. Okay, so it can transport only upside. That's why it is known as unidirectional. Now we have phloem. Okay, in phloem it transport the food, glucose, etc. So let's just not read this, just memorize this. It transports the food. Okay, जो भी हमारा फूड होता है, अगर हम कार्बोहाइड्रेट बोलेंगे तो भी वो गलत नहीं होगा, बट इन योर टेक्स्ट बुक द ग्लूकोज इज मेंशन्ड, so we have to memorize it as glucose. It transport the food, glucose. Okay, you have to write glucose in bracket. So ये जो phloem होता है वो ग्लूकोज को ट्रांसपोर्ट करता है. Okay, it is bidirectional. It means the food can go upside also, downside also. Like if the photosynthesis has happened in the middle leaf, the food will go upside also and downside also. ये रूट के साइड में भी जाएगा नीचे एंड ऊपर के जो फ्लावर्स हो गए उसमें भी जाएगा. सो दैट्स व्हाई फ्लोएम ट्रांसपोर्ट. ओके, थैंक यू. In the next lecture we will learn further.